Lady Ada, what is this?
Hey everybody, and welcome to Show and Tell. It's me, Lady Ada, and Mr. Lady Ada hosting again tonight. We switch it off with some folks like Noah and Pedro and JP. Thanks to them for when they host, but we're picking up. We're here at the Adafruit Factory, downtown Manhattan. It's nice and quiet here. We're the only ones here. We live together, so that's why we're not wearing masks. But enough about us.
Pretty soon we won't have to say that anymore.
This is going to be a weird moment in time.
We're going to look back and then we're going to edit and post.
Yeah.
We'll pretend this never happened the last 2 years.
I can't wait for the AI robots to replace our masks with our what they thought our faces looked like.
Oh, that'll be weird because it'll be all the
it'll be blurry. Okay. Well, we got some people from around the maker community. We got some hackers and coders and designers coming by, and they're all going to show off what they've been working on in this cold weather. Kicking it off with Kevin from Digikey.
Hey guys.
Nice and cozy in his basement.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you guys are safe and healthy. And I agree with 2 years. We're not going to talk about this 2 years.
Yeah. We didn't really handle it that well collectively as a society. So I think we're just going to kind of skip.
Right. No, we are finally in talks of going back to the office. So a lot of us are very excited to see people again, be back in the Digikey.
You have a giant building that you built too, so you have plenty of room.
We do. We're starting some of our first test shipments this month, which is really exciting. And I'm hoping once we kind of get things going, I would love to do a live show and tell when I'm in the building and walking around the new facility. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what I've been working on, so I'm not sure if everybody is aware of this, but 2022 is Digikey's 50th anniversary.
Oh,
we've been playing. We saw the retro videos. We're going to play one of them tonight, the 1991, I think, Digikey video that we saw on your social media. So we're going to play it tonight on Ask an Engineer for anyone who wants to stick around and see that. But congratulations!
Oh, cool.
Congratulations on the anniversary, and thank you to whoever decided to post up the Digikey video commercial from 1991.
Oh, that's great! I'm glad you guys are sharing it.
I can just smell the carpeting.
91 or 96, one of the two.
Oh man, I was just a kid back then. So for the 50th anniversary, what better than recreate what started the company? So I'm working with a team of some of our engineers and our technical team, and we're going to recreate the Digikey with
you let us borrow that, and we did a photo shoot when Dave was here. Yeah,
and we're gonna take it to the next level. I mean, it's not going to be just the Digikey, but we're going to use the original Digikey circuit. We're going to incorporate a 555 timer because it's also the 50th year of the 555 timer. So we might as well bring that in.
Oh, there's the one. Yeah, I see it.
And so this is just a quick image of how we're going to create PCB paddles for the DITs and the DAWs.
Ooh, good idea.
And the best of all is we're going to have this a standalone project, or we're going to make it so you can add on to it. What are we going to use? We're going to use a feather. We're going to add a feather with feather wings. We're going to have an OLED display. So when you turn it on, it'll have a splash screen. And I don't want to get into all the details. I want this to be a little exciting and a little surprising.
Yeah.
But we have some cool things. We want to be able to send the Morse code out on Bluetooth through a phone just to make it a little more modern day. But I'll kind of keep you guys updated as we're working on this. It's not a big secret, but it's something that I think this community would really love.
I think it can be a secret, but also show the progress. It's still fun to get the reveal. You get trailers for movies. You know what the movie's about.
We collect retro hardware stuff, and I remember when we first met some of the team from Digikey, and we asked if we could borrow it, and they're like, "Yeah, we only have this one," and we did a photo shoot, and we made sure that we took good care of it, and we still have all the photos on our Flickr. And we did a bunch of cool animations with it and everything. This is a really good idea.
We're really excited about it. We have, like I said, a team of really smart people working on this, and I'm sure we'll reach out to the community for help, Adafruit and Discord. There'll be times we'll run into snags and be like, "Hey, anybody know how to get through this?" So we'll definitely.
What could be neat is they could order the boards from your board service. They could get a kit from the website. In the retro Digikey commercial that we're going to play tonight on Ask an Engineer, it says, "In the beginning, we service the DIY market, and then we decided to have do more." And it's neat because it reminds me of a little bit like Adafruit. We did kits, and now we do quite a bit more. So it's a neat look back in the history, but it's also maybe a glimpse at the future too.
Yeah, I saw your post on Twitter 10 years ago. you had the entire Adafruit on a small, was it a tray or
16 years ago.
Yeah, it was a very small.
That was all of Lemoore.
Yeah, that was me. I only had like one product. It was the Mini Pop kit. And then I did the Minty Boost.
Yeah.
That was our second product.
That was her entire inventory, all of her net worth, all like.
It was in kitchen bags.
Yeah, it was like you had like $500 worth of Adafruit. That was it. That was it. The entire company.
That's it. I just made some kits.
And that's great. There's so many similarities. I mean, that's how Digikey started. You know, the guy created our founder, Ron Sorrell, created the Digikeyer and ended up with all these extra reels of parts and cut them up and sold them off.
Why not sell them?
That's right.
All right. Well, this is super cool, Kevin. So keep us posted. Send me anything over email if you want us to cover it on the blog. As well. But this is really neat. And I'll do a post with our photos that we took of the Digikeyer when we got to borrow it as well.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Regards to everyone at Digikey.
Glad to see you guys are happy and healthy. And
yeah.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Next, Jeff, what you got going on this week?
You are interrupting my research on the Digikeyer. I posted up some links on the Discord, but I'm here to show you. I went a little off the rails today, and so I made a clock. Whoa, that was bad.
What time is it? It's Jeff time.
What time is it? Yeah, we're in Central Time here, so it's 6:37. This is made with a ESP32S2 Feather, the one with the TFT, because it's what I had, but we're not using it. And then these are little I2C displays. And you can hook up to 8 of them up. So I mixed them up, gets the time from the network, and just shows it on the display. So
nice.
Fun little project I did in Arduino because I hadn't done Arduino with ESP32S2 yet.
Oh, okay, great.
Right.
It's a good way to learn.
Is this going to be available anywhere in the world for people to kick the tires on or anything like that?
You know, I can share the design for this little bracket, but otherwise it's just a bunch of Adafruit parts and like 150 lines of code. So I'll put it on a gist, but I don't know that it's super exciting or anything
Someone
like that.
might ask. They can probably find you in Discord if they want to, right?
Yeah, I'll share it out on a gist and post the links up in Discord.
All right. Thanks so much, Jeff.
All right. See you around.
All right, JP, what you got going on this week?
Hey, yeah, so the retro marvelousness continues. I've been working on the last couple of weeks this arcade synthesizer controller. This is a MDF, medium density fiberboard version of the tweaks I did to the case design. And this is the previous acrylic one that you see in the overhead. I have a guide that I'm working on, so people will be able to build one of these if they want. It uses our really cool arcade LED arcade button 1x4 Stemma QT boards, makes the wiring a heck of a lot easier than doing this without. And one of the cool things about this is I have the audio library synth running on the Feather M4 in there, which is what I've shown before. But I also have our MIDI Feather Wing on the back of this thing. And so I've plugged it into a Game Boy I have here. And you'll notice it's running some Adafruit code. This is a little cartridge that Scott made a few years ago that runs CircuitPython on a cartridge. And so the MIDI is going into there, and it's using the sound engine built right onto the Game Boy here. So with the latest code, I'm using a arpeggiator library that Todd Kurt wrote called ARPI. And it means I can hit a button, let it play patterns, and change the root note of those patterns. I can also adjust the octaves and the speed. So I'll just hit play on it. And I can switch a pattern.
I feel like I've entered a battle. The music always got a little faster, like when you're in battle mode.
That's right. It cranks it up. The Game Boy MIDI sometimes can get a little unhappy with spamming too many notes at it, I noticed. I'll have to see if Scott has any thoughts about that. But I've used it to run some MIDI synths over USB, some hardware synths over classic MIDI, as well as it's got the built-in audio. So I'm real excited about it. It's a kind of a fun build. It's almost like a kit once you get into it. This little crack I have here is one of the reasons I've redesigned the case, so that won't happen. And with the Learn Guide, people will be able to download those files and either cut it at a laser cutter at a makerspace or send it off to a service online to get them cut. And then it's mostly a bunch of plug-in stuff together to build this nice big controller. And I imagine someone out there could end up wanting to use it just as a regular fight stick. Might make a pretty good fight stick for emulator.
Music games. But I also feel like there's a lot of space there. People can add more buttons if they want, or
Yeah.
they can add sliders.
3 functions on the front, which is how I'm changing some stuff, but you can put knobs and sliders, lots of space on the back there.
Cool.
Side here has the little ports for USB for the power and recoding it, and the audio out right there. And on the back, I put a couple buttons for reset. That'll reset the board or go into bootloader mode and then power it off entirely.
Oh, that's nice. It's always, it's like a project's always like, it's done when there's an off button. That's
yes, right. I'll tell you what, having the nice reset button was really helpful for flashing firmware. It's nice to be able to get in there without finding a little tiny button on the microphone.
Let's see. Okay, cool. All right. I'm looking forward to the guide.
On the show tomorrow, I'll be diving into a little bit of our more keyboard madness with a little Wordle keyboard. So come on by.
I was just going to ask, what's on the show? We're going to show your Parsec, and then the highlight from JP's product pick of the week. We do that every Tuesday. And then so tomorrow, you're doing a Wordle thing.
Yeah, I got to use the lovely little keyboard, which I'm a big fan of now. Our little latest microcontroller there.
Turns out Wordle was made for all these keyboard stuff.
It was made for it. Yep, for sure.
All right, thanks, JP.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, JP.
What is happening?
Oh, you're on mute. We can see you, but we cannot hear you.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, wrong microphone selected. Okay, so I thought it'd be neat to add the a DualShock 4 for the PS4 controller and be able to control things. And so I'll show you down here. So I have a little setup here, and I have some custom firmware called BluePad 32 that's loaded on the Airlift here, and then I can go ahead and sync that up here. Oh, it's not working. It was working just a bit ago.
No. You want us to come back to you?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Right,
let's go to Non Pedro and see what they're up to.
No, Pedro. Let me bump you over here. What's going on?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this week we got a 3D printed prop. We've been watching a lot of Star Wars: The Book of Boba, a new TV show on Disney Plus. So we got inspired to make the staff from the Tusken Raiders. So yeah, it's just a nice little. It's not little. It's kind of tall. It's made out of several pieces. They all print without any support material, and I just like the shape. It was really cool. Everything kind of screws together, and what I like about that is you can take it apart. So let's say I want to take it somewhere, I could break it down into several pieces and then kind of take it wherever I need to, or store it away if things happen, right? So yeah, we talked about that on the show this morning, and folks can download and 3D print their own staff.
This is great for when you're like, I want to go, raid some stuff on Naboo or whatever, but
Yeah,
I have to take public transport and it's too tall for fitting in the bus.
And your video is coming a little choppy, so folks can watch Ask an Engineer, or they can go to our YouTube channel and they can watch it in sparkling HD.
Thanks, appreciate it. All right, folks.
All right, thanks for coming by
right.
now, Pedro.
Bye.
Thanks for coming by. All right, next up, let's go to Foamy Guy, and then we're gonna. Oh no, Melissa's back. Let's go to Melissa.
Good. Okay.
Let's go to Melissa. Then we're gonna go to Foamy Guy, and then we're gonna go to Liz. Melissa.
Okay, so back to this. I just had pressed the wrong combination of buttons on the PS4 controller, but right now I have it so it's controlling 6 different servos, and it's going on 6 different axes because you have little axes on the left and the right triggers here.
That's kind of nice because it's like those are really ergonomic controllers, and it's like that's a really hard thing to make. But now you can add it to any microcontroller project.
Yeah, and it's running CircuitPython, and it's on just on this tiny little QT Pi RP2040.
And which that's a Sony PS4 controller?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. So the big news is Sony already saw this video and they've acquired Melissa for $68 billion.
Yeah.
So they have to keep up with Microsoft acquiring.
Well, the great thing is all this stuff was just available from Adafruit here. So
you just had it. You already had it in your apartment, probably.
Had what now?
You had all the parts all like in your bins because like you've used all these components for other projects.
Right.
This is really cool. You could do some neat puppeteering and stuff like that. And that controller, especially for folks who play a lot of video games, they're really fast up with it. So they'd be able to do a lot of interesting movement with it.
I actually wanted to kind of build like a little robot and use this as the input. And then, so I wanted to see how much control I could get over this. So these were just to demonstrate like more of the different axes. I have to get better battery power because it's just using the Power Boost 1000C and it's kind of almost bottoming out there.
I always think about like Disney's animatronics and like how they can get the next generation of like Imagineers. And to me, this would be something like it, like Imagineer in a box. Like, oh, like you want to make your own Abe Lincoln? I don't think anyone does, but you want to make your own Abe Lincoln robot? Well, here's how you would do it with the things that you're very familiar with. PlayStation controllers, all the Adafruit stuff. So very cool.
That's interesting.
3D printers.
Combining mechatronics with remote controls because it is tough. It's like you make like an 8-axis robot. It's like how do you control it? Like you can't write code for it. Like humans aren't good at that. Like
and then you could record it too, and then play it back. And so there'd be one performance that you do all the movements and all the voice, and then it stores and then it plays back. Digital puppetry.
Okay, cool.
All right, thanks, Melissa.
Nice work, Melissa.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Tim, what you got going on this week?
Hello. This week I have worked on this Nico cat. You can find out more about this old application here on Wikipedia, but I have implemented it into Display.io. So we basically just have this cute little cat. It will run around the screen. It will scratch when it gets to the edges. And if it feels like it in between, it will stop and sleep or stop and kind of lick its paw and scratch its head. So just some cute little Display.io animations, and it has customizable backgrounds. And I did figure out that it runs on multiple devices, the same code. So it's on a PyPortal, a Funhouse, and a Clue here, but it would probably work the same on anything with a built-in screen.
Yes,
so
I was thinking about this because we were thinking about old screensavers. And we did do a project where we did an animation of After Dark, like flying toasters in Display.io because it's really good with sprites. And then I was thinking like, oh, wait, I remember this other thing that I had that was a screensaver. It was like a screen toy and it would follow your mouse.
Yeah.
So the cat would like chase after your mouse. And it was like an old, Apple System 7, System 6 extension. But then I found out it was actually ported to a bunch of other different platforms. Anyway, so that's where the inspiration came from. Yep. I was like, oh yeah, this is a great Display.io project.
Back to I'll recycle my joke, but back to the Microsoft news. They technically own After Dark Berkeley Systems.
I know, so that's why it's very poignant.
We could convince them to open source it, and then we could do other stuff with it. I think we could do that.
Okay, one more thing. So, Foamy Guy, if there's a cursor control support on the board, like for the touchscreen, you should be able to have it follow your finger.
Ooh.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's the thing.
That's nice.
Have it. Yeah, we can do that. Touch a point, and
I think you can do that.
I really like this promise that was made a long time ago. Write once, run anywhere. Java used it in a bunch of. We all fell for it because it's like yeah, good idea. But it looks like this is actually here, and you did it.
Yep. This is the exact same code on all three, with the one difference is just the background color. So
yeah. The one thing that's really funny is it really was that slow too. Because it looks at the animation slow. It was that slow on a computer. It was not a very fast animation.
Yeah, I figured I would try to find a YouTube video of it. I never did track one down, but I figured it would be kind of that retro frame by frame animation.
Yeah, it was a little bit like
you can pop this in a little 3D printed computer, and it would look like it's just a miniature computer.
It looks really. I mean, what you have to do is you have to get like an old Mac emulator, and boot it up with the. It's a lot of work. I don't think it's worth it. This looks basically the same.
This is fine.
Well, yeah, guide coming soon.
All right. Thanks so much, Foamy Guy.
Yep.
All
thanks.
right.
Foamy Guy's cat.
All right, Liz, play us out. Maybe literally.
Maybe. I love that cat. So I'm working on this VU meter with Nayan Pedro. So that'll be coming soon. It's a CircuitPython, PDM mic, and then a strip of NeoPixels. And I've got the colors so that it's like a traditional VU meter, but you could change it up to be any colors you want. And then the other thing that I started working on is this Cutie Pie is running CircuitPython, and it's alternating between two MIDI notes and sending it out over UART to this feather that's running Arduino to receive the MIDI input. And then when it receives a specific note, it'll play a tone that syncs up with that. And the reason why I was experimenting with that is I want to have the Oscatone Scout take in MIDI to get like sequences and stuff. And I want to use CircuitPython to basically make it like a USB MIDI input device.
Mm.
So that was the first kind of test with that. So,
all right, this looks cool.
You could also do red for the LED colors, and it would look like Knight Rider. There's probably some other, there's probably some other effects that are just like.
With Neopix, it could be any color you want.
It could be any color you want. But there's lots of robots that when they talk, it does the
there was the remember that robot? What was the name of with the mouth that would sing, like Tosky Town or something? Shit, I'm like see Oscar Town sometimes, guys, and it's making my brain confused. But there was like a speaking mouth matrix.
It's not Dr. Theopolis.
No, it was like
I just wanted to say
it was like from like 10 years ago. It was like a product you could buy.
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
It wasn't 2XL.
No.
Like
it was modern. It was by the Nabaztag people, but I can't remember the top of the name.
I have I have one of the Wi-Fi rabbits over there.
Yeah, it was the same company, but I can't remember.
Yeah,
I'll think of it in like 2 minutes. Anyways.
All right, Liz. Well, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right. Thanks so much. That is Show and Tell tonight. Thank you, everybody. We're here every single week in some way, shape, or form, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time every Wednesday night. Thank you so much for making this the best, 22 minutes or so, 28 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes even more every single week. And we'll see everybody next week. Ask an Engineer starts in a few minutes. We'll see everybody then, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you in 5 minutes.